topic that I'm going to talk about today is like, are we on the right track? So of course, like, first of all, I had to tell you that you are on the right track, because like after some time that there was some inactivity, now the Vidura and the team got together, and now they have revamped the activities in the student branch of KDU. So you're on the process of being one of the best student branches in the country. And I'd like to say that it would be great that if you all can have the enthusiasm that you're having at the moment throughout the years to come, so that one day like you'll be the best student branch in the country as well. So the topic again, like I'm going to talk about is, are we on the right track? So first of all, like before I start my presentation, I'd like to know that why are you guys here in the session today? So like, do you know what IEEE is like, or why you came to the session? So I want some answers before I start, like what's the reason for you to being here? It's more likely if we had the opportunity to conduct this as a session at the university premises, this would have been a really good interactive session. But since we have to conduct it online, like even though it's online, I need support from you guys to continue this as much as possible in an interactive way for all of us to get something at the end. So I'd like to know at first, like, why are you here? So I see there are like 80 faces. So it would be great that I can know like what's the reason you're here. You can type in the chat box. Yeah, I'm waiting for answers from you guys. So like there must be a reason for you guys to be here, because like maybe like Vidura and the team forced you to be here for some reason. Maybe that they might have said that the list of participants might get chocolate tomorrow. So that might be a reason. Even that's the reason. I'd like to know that why you guys are here. Yeah, I'm getting one answer from Disanaga. He says like, I wanted to know about more about IEEE. That's fine. That's great. So any more answers? Like, so let's like, so to continue, like, because we're having like limited time as well. So what's there? Yeah, someone also said that I like to know about the field. So so it's more like we have a limited time, so I'll continue from here. So the computers were pretty generous, like they give me a lengthy introduction about who am I. So I'm also from a very contemporary background as you guys who are here. So my name is Chamika, and I am a computer science and engineering undergraduate from University of Morato, and I'm currently serving as the section student representative of IEEE Sri Lanka section for the year 2020-2021. And just to clarify, who am I? Like, who is the section student representative or the SSR? SSR is the person who serves as the central point of contact for all the student branches, student volunteers, and the student societies, affinity groups at the sectional level. So it's more likely there are like 90 student branches in Sri Lanka, and there are like more than 20 student societies in Sri Lanka as well, and there are affinity groups as well. So I have served in different roles as a volunteer, and I've been volunteering for more than 3 years. So what I'd like to say is, like, if you are going for a position at the section level, the topmost position a student can achieve is the section student representative. So I'd like to say that every volunteer who is becoming a volunteer in IEEE would have to have the dream that at some point of his time or her time that he'll be able to become the section student representative. So that's a brief introduction about me. So you told me that you like to know about what IEEE is like. So in short, IEEE is the world's largest technical professional organization dedicated for advancing technology for the benefit of humanity. So in the IEEE tagline, it says that advancing technology for humanity. So that's IEEE is in short. And it has more than 423,000 members over 160 countries around the world. So obviously IEEE is around everywhere of the world, and it's spread in every nook and corner in the world. So in any country that you'll visit or you'll able to go at some point of time in your life, you'll meet someone from IEEE because like you are in the same profession as the IEEE members are. So there are like, other than IEEE at large, there are like 39 technical societies in IEEE that provide benefits to the members within specialized field of interest. Like you might be doing computer science engineering, electronics engineering, electrical engineering, maybe something related to power, different sort of fields that they are like. IEEE has like 39 societies dedicated to those fields. So you will be able to meet people who are specializing on that field, maybe the expert in that field in the entire world. Maybe they're like, you'll be able to communicate with them and get to know details about the field, about their lives and how they have built their career. So lots of things are there if you join IEEE. So you'll be able to meet lots of people around the world. And in terms of the country, in Sri Lanka, there are more than 2,000 student members in Sri Lanka in IEEE across 19 universities, both government sectors and private. And there are like events organized all over the year in the country as well, that these students get together and organize events and network with each other and get to know people and do lots of wonderful things over the year. So IEEE is like the world's largest technical professional organization. Though the word professionality comes there, like you don't have to have the idea that it might be dull for you guys to be in IEEE. Like you are like members because it's a professional organization and you have to be there. But it's not like that, because we are having like lots of activities all over the year in IEEE for you guys to engage and contribute as a volunteer as well as a member of IEEE as well. So the next question that comes to your mind, like the IEEE being the largest organization in the world for professionality, what would IEEE bring you guys? So the first thing, of course, is like IEEE brings you the reputation for being part of a professional body because it's the world's largest professional organization. And then of course, like there are like academic resources, career guidance, and various other potential important information for you guys to get from IEEE as well. And there are like worldwide competitions organized by IEEE, IEEE Extreme, MADC, and there are like competitions organized in the sectional level, regional level, and in the as to the whole world as well. So that's about the competition. And then of course, like IEEE awards you and recognize you for the volunteering activities you've done and and what you excel in your studies as well. So in IEEE, like there are like two kinds of benefits that you can get from IEEE. You can get benefits as a member as well as a volunteer as well. So a member would get travel grants, education scholarship, he would get grants for humanitarian projects and would get a chance to go for conferences when they publish papers, as well as they get awards as well. So as a volunteer, you will get to engage in student professional activities, and you will get the chance to train with the best leaders in IEEE, maybe in a virtual manner, or as well you get a chance to meet them in person as well. So you will be able to do projects, and as well you will get a chance to be at regional conferences and congresses as well. So it was like in this year as well, there was a congress in our region 10, which Sri Lanka belong to. There's a congress to be held at the end of this year, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's going to be online as a virtual congress. So IEEE is the largest professional organization in the world, and it gets you access to uh, lots of different resources where you'll meet the IEEE students, professional members, and it gives you the chance to you to network with them and collaborate. So some of the resources that you will get are, there's like IEEE Collaborative, and there's like, sorry, IEEE students and IEEE students channel, and there's an Instagram page as well. So through these different kind of resources, you will be able to meet different people from different backgrounds and different cultures all over the world who are IEEE members. So Collaborative is the best resource that you can utilize because it will give you the chance to meet members from different areas. Like they might not be students as well, they might be graduates, they might be some pioneers in the technologies, and lots of people are there in IEEE, and they are all in this network, and you'll get a chance to communicate with them, get to know each other, and maybe to develop your skills as well. So as part of like academic resources and career guidance, IEEE give you like access to e-learning courses, and there's a magazine called IEEE Potential that you'll get. And of course, like you'll be mentored by senior members in the IEEE when you are doing an activity. So you'll get a chance to start in the grassroots level as a volunteer in your student branch, and then you'll be able to move to the section and maybe in the global level as well. Throughout the years that you will be a volunteer in IEEE, you will be guided by the senior members in IEEE. So today we are having our next speaker, Hasala. So he's someone who has mentored me throughout the process of organizing activities in the global level. So apart from that, there are like resources in IEEE education. One is like there's a iTunes University. In IEEE, there's like IEEE Explore Library where you'll get a chance to see all the research papers in the world in IEEE. And there, other than that, there are like trycomputing.org and IEEE e-learning library, and there's IEEE TV. So it's not like a limited set of resources. You will get like access to unlimited set of resources in IEEE because it brings you things regard to your academics, and it will provide you the chance to excel in competitions in IEEE, and because it's the largest programming competition in the world. So excelling in IEEE extreme programming competition, even in the national level, gives you the recognition that you are good, you are skilled in programming, and maybe like winning the competition in the global level gives you the chance to be recognized in the global level as well. Like if you say that, if you go to Google and say that you won the IEEE Extreme, they recognize your skill and you are quite talented. So it's the largest coding competition in the world, and it's all around the world. Like in Sri Lanka as well, we got like, I think like in Sri Lanka also won the competition back in 2008 or 2009 in the IEEE Extreme competition. And this year as well, we had a position around the top 50 in the world in IEEE Extreme. So apart from IEEE Extreme, there's like IEEE Mobile Application Development Competition contest, which is called IEEE MADC as well. So it's regarding mobile apps, and the number of competitors in that competition also growing, and it's a worldwide competition as well. So these are like the most recognized competitions held by IEEE. But other than this, like there are plenty of competitions in IEEE, like you can be part of and win them. So winning these competitions will give you the recognition globally, as well as will give you the financial grants as well as a recognition for you. So then it's about the awards and recognition that you will get from IEEE. So frankly, so you will get the chance to go to reputed conferences in IEEE, and you will get funding opportunities for your projects, and as well as your innovative projects will be awarded as well. So I have mentioned like some of the grants from IEEE. Like the first one is like, because of this COVID-19 pandemic, IEEE region 10 organized a competition uh, to recognize the best proposals regarding to eradication of COVID-19. So one of the projects proposed by IEEE Sri Lanka section, which was done by the IEEE student branch of University of Peradeniya, got accepted, and it will be implemented within the next couple of months. I think like it got a grant of like 400 USD to implement the project. So that's one thing. And there's like IEEE undergraduate project video contest, which is held every year, and your project. So if you are an IEEE member, you'll get a chance to apply for this competition. And if your project gets recognized, you will be recognized in the Asia Pacific region, as well as you will get a grant as well. So that's one thing. And this like for IEEE student branches, IEEE student branch website competition, whereas you will get the chance to show that your ability to build websites as a part of being the student branch, and you will be recognized there as well. And other than that, there are like humanitarian competitions as well. And another competition from IEEE Industry Application Society is like Myron Sucker Undergraduate Student Design Competition. So it's about a design project that you're doing, and you'll get a chance to get a cash prize of like 800 USD as well. And for this award, like you get a chance to be at the annual general meeting of the Industry Application Society, which is held in United States. And due to COVID-19, this year it did not happen. But in the previous years, like in the last 3 years, Sri Lankans got the chance to be there. Like they won the first place a couple of times, and they won the second place, third place, and every year, each and every year, Sri Lankans get a chance to be recognized in this competition as well. So it's a competition that you might try to win. So that's more like the things that IEEE gives you like briefly. So I'd like to ask you all a question again. So in your point, as you think, let me know that who you think is a volunteer. So what are your ideas about volunteering? So if you are a volunteer, what do you think, like, who am I? How would you describe yourself? Yeah, I'm getting an answer. So who is a volunteer? What do you think? I believe that you can hear me. Yeah, yes. Right. So who do you think is a volunteer? Any answers? There are like more than 100 people here. Yeah, I get an answer like someone who freely offered to work for an organization. That's correct. Yeah, let's move on. Like, so I get another answer as well. So someone who gives his time to do something good regardless of anything in return. So the definition of a volunteer is pretty much the same as you said: a person who freely offers to take part in an enterprise or undertake a task, or a person who works for an organization without being paid. So that's pretty much the definition gives you for being a volunteer. But it's about give and take. So I might say that it's about give and grab, because in volunteering, though we say that we freely offer to do something, we have to remember something, because what we invest as being a volunteer is we invest our time. So we invest our time, which is the most valuable thing for us. So being a volunteer, as again, I'd like to remind you, because we invest our time, we might need to have anything, we might need to have something in return. So it's like this. So there are like plenty of opportunities for us to volunteer, maybe in IEEE, maybe in another organization, maybe in another NGO, or there are like different kinds of opportunities for us. Like what we have to think about when we are volunteering for some organization is at the end, like maybe like in a couple of events, if we are organizing, we might get t-shirts, or we might get something to eat, or maybe they'll cover our meal. So there are like plenty of different kinds of volunteering and the things that we gain being part of a volunteer. But what we need to think as being a volunteer is like, in the long run, what would it give me, or who would I become, and how would it will help me to become the person who I will be. So that's something that you might keep in your mind, because like in life, like if after we are spending like our time, after we invest our time in something, maybe like in 10 years we might feel like, if I had invested this time in something else, I would have been a better person than who am I today. So that's something that will come up to you when maybe like in 10 years. But what I would like to say that in volunteering, it's about investing our time. So we might also need to think as uh, the good things that we do as the things that we do for the betterment of the society, what you will get at the end ultimately. So in IEEE, it's like there are like opportunities in volunteering that might end when you are graduating. Like maybe you will be volunteering for maybe 3 or 4 years, and at the end you're graduating. The thing that you did as volunteering, maybe organizing projects or maybe doing community projects, might end when you graduate. But in IEEE, that's a different scenario, because you can be a member in IEEE for your life. It's a lifetime membership, and the benefits that you get from IEEE, the contributions that you can make for the betterment of the society, and the community of IEEE will be with you for forever, like until the end of your life, I would say. So as well, like from a student member who is in the grassroots level, you'll be able to become a member who will be recognized in the global level, maybe in when you're mature. So IEEE is there for a long time of your life. So what I would like to say is that if you are willing to invest your time as a volunteer for an organization, IEEE is a, a good choice, maybe better choice than the organizations that are existing in the contemporary background. So I'd like to say that all of the people who are here, maybe like 100 people. So all the students have taken a good decision choosing to be with IEEE. So why volunteering for IEEE? So that's the next question that come to you. So the first one is like you can gain confidence by leading your peers peers, and the second thing is like you can make a difference in your local community. Like it's more like that you're having a set of resources which are available in your local community as well as in the international community as well. So if your local community is and lacking knowledge about a certain technology, or your local community needs some guidance about leadership, you'll get the chance to talk to leaders in the global level as well as in the local level, and get their uh, get their guidance and make a difference in the local community. As well, you will be able to be part of the large IEEE community as well, and as well you'll get a chance to hone your soft skills through a variety of projects and activities. And at the end, what we all aspire to do is to have fun and make new lifelong friends. So we'll meet people from everywhere of the country, everywhere of the world, and it's all about fun at the end, and you will get everything as being a volunteer in IEEE. So what's special about being a volunteer for IEEE? The first thing is like when you're volunteering for an organization, if for IEEE or somewhere else, the first thing is like you won't be fired while, uh, and it's different from doing a occupation. So when you're doing a job, you will be asked to do something, and if you make some mistakes, then there's a possibility for you to be fired. But when you're volunteering for an organization, it's different, because you won't be fired because you're freely uh, working there, and there are chances that you'll make mistakes, but as you're volunteering, you'll be able to learn from those mistakes, and maybe like when you're graduated and doing a job, you might not do the same mistakes again. So that's a plus being a volunteer. So other than that, like you'll get a chance to explore new opportunities, and again, as I said, like you'll get a chance to experience new things as well. So again, I mentioned in the beginning as well, you'll be trained by the professionals as well as the senior members in IEEE. And there are like set of organizations within IEEE that you will be guided. Like there's IEEE Center for Leadership Excellence. They'll like recruit maybe like 100 people a year, and they'll give a special training for these IEEE student members. and you'll get a chance to be there as well. So as a member of the IEEE student leadership, you belong to an exclusive worldwide volunteering community, which includes both students and professionals. So at the end, like, you'll meet people from different backgrounds and different who have different skills, and you'll be able to learn from each and every one of them, like, because they all are there for a common purpose, and you'll network with them. So when you're volunteering for IEEE, is you will be recognized as a volunteer as well. So I mentioned in the beginning that you'll be recognized. So there are like plenty of awards in IEEE for volunteers. For in terms of student volunteers, what I can say is like the best award that you can get is Larry K. Wilson's Regional Student Activities Award. So this award was won by like two students in Sri Lanka, like back in 2015 and 2017. So it's from the Asia Pacific level. So there's a chance for you to be recognized as a volunteer in the global level in IEEE. So this is one opportunity. And there's like an opportunity for student branches. So they recognize student branch activities conducted, like maybe the first place, second place, and it is given as platinum award, gold award. So it's Darrell Chong Student Activities Award. So if you organize events in your student branch which are an inspiration for the other student branches as well, and these activities can be scaled as well. So if you organize in such events, you will be recognized by the IEEE global community that you are doing something great. So you will be recognized as there. So I mentioned about the student branch website competition. So these are like the global awards that you will get as a student volunteer. And these days, like IEEE MGA is giving IEEE MGA awards. So those are more likely for the volunteers who've been IEEE for a long period of time, maybe 10 to 20 years, and they're like graduated, and they're like IEEE members, not students. So there's a set of awards to recognize those members as well. So when you're doing something great, you will be recognized globally in IEEE. So that's the best thing that you have to get from here. So as I mentioned, like, it's volunteering for your student branch is at the grassroots levels of IEEE. From the student branch, what you'll meet next is the section. So I mentioned you that there are 19 student branch in Sri Lanka, and all these 19 student branches are under IEEE Sri Lanka section. So you can start from being a volunteer at your student branch, and then you can move to the sectional level. So the first opportunity that you will be able to work in the sectional level will be being part of the national projects conducted by IEEE Sri Lanka section Student Activities Committee. So that's the first chance, and then you will get to be part of the IEEE Sri Lanka section Student Activities Committee. And then again, like, you will be able to become the section student representative, and there are like other positions in IEEE Sri Lanka section as well, the chair, secretary, vice chair, editor, and there are several roles there. So you can start from being a volunteer in the student branch, and then you can step into the sectional level. From the sectional level, it does not stop. Like, then you can go to the regional level. Regional level means that we belong to IEEE region 10, which means the Asia Pacific region. And there are, the starting point might be you can be part of the regional student activities committee. So regional student activities committee is in charge of the handling the student activities within the region. So similar to the position of sectional student representative, there's a person called regional student representative. So you will be able to become that person as well in the regional level. So that's another opportunity. So it's about being part of the Asia Pacific region and getting recognized. And then after serving at the regional level, you will be able to serve as at the global level as well. So there are like opportunities from the student branch level to the global level in IEEE. So there isn't a certain place that you have to stop. So you can volunteer in IEEE for a long time, and you can contribute in various activities in IEEE, from maybe helping with the student branches or initiating new student projects, or maybe helping projects, or maybe winning competitions. And there are several things in IEEE that you can work on as a member. So as I mentioned you about region 10, so this is a bit of explanation about the hierarchical level in IEEE. So in IEEE, there's region and there's like members activities and technical activities, and under members activities, what you'll see is the life members, young professionals, and student members. So it's in the student members is where we belong to at the moment. So after like we are graduating, we can become young professionals in IEEE. So it's about catering the set of students who are graduating and going to the industry. So you'll be guided by the professionals in IEEE in Sri Lanka as well as in global level as well. So you'll get a chance to interact with them as young professionals, and then you will become IEEE members and finally life members in IEEE. So at each and every point of your life, after you become a undergraduate, you will be guided by the IEEE community because they're like there for a long period of time. Yeah. So the next thing is like you can start from being a volunteer in the grassroots levels, and this like there's like no limit that where you can stop from. Like, so you can become the IEEE president as well, because the IEEE president is also a volunteer who started in the grassroots levels and volunteered for IEEE for a long time, and then he became the president. So there's nothing that will stop you from becoming the IEEE president someday at some point of time in your life, if you are being with IEEE and doing good things for the society at large. So maybe like one of you who are listening today in this awareness session will have that chance to become the IEEE president one day. So last but not least, I'd like to remind you about something. So I mentioned that if you are starting at the student branch level, and then if you want to step into the sectional level, what you can do. So the first opportunity that you will get to serve in the sectional level is become a part of IEEE national project. So there are like 4 projects conducted at the moment in the national level. I'll give you a brief introduction about each project. So the first project is IEEE Sri Lanka Section Congress. So this is like the flagship event of IEEE Sri Lanka section to foster technological innovations and excellence for the benefit of the humanity. So this was organized for a long time, more than 5 years it's there. So the Congress aims to strengthening the collaboration and cooperation among the IEEE members across the country, and together with the opportunity to network and brainstorm and engage. So that's what Congress is, and you'll get a chance to meet student volunteers from Sri Lanka at large in the Congress from all the 19 universities I mentioned. And you'll be able to do networking activities, games, and fun events, as well as there's a gala night as well. And there's at the end of the gala night, there's the IEEE awards night. So it's a 3-day congress where you will stay maybe at a university or maybe at a hotel or a similar location, and you will be spending those 3 days building your leadership skills and networking with people. So due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this year we are planning to have this congress as a virtual congress, and planning is still going on. So if not for COVID-19, this would have been a congress which will be held physically, where you will be able to meet lots of people and make new friends. So this is the flagship event of IEEE Sri Lanka section. So the next thing is like IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka. So it's a startup pre-accelerator catering towards facilitating training, mentoring, and financial support to build the entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. So I was also part of this competition last year, and I was part of the team which won the competition last year. So this year it's quite special for your student branch, because Vidura is the chairman of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka this year, and he's been a wonderful volunteer for IEEE community for the past few years. So there's opportunities in IEEE in the national level, and some of your students in your university has also achieved those positions, becoming part of IEEE national projects as well. So there's chance for you guys to explore these projects, and you can organize these events, and you can gain skills in organizing, as well as like you'll get to meet like different peoples from different backgrounds in here. for an example, in Innovation Nation, you will meet the people who are in the entrepreneurship in Sri Lanka, the top tier people who are engaging in this field. So you will be able to meet the businessmen and the entrepreneurs who build their companies from scratch, and you will be able to get a chance to meet them in person and get the contacts, and they'll like guide you in your life to become a successful entrepreneur. So you'll get a chance to meet these people in IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka. So the next event is IEEE Techno Meetup Sri Lanka. So it's a platform that is to do awareness and share knowledge about the new trending technologies in the world for both undergraduates and industry professionals. So it's more like a monthly meetup about the emerging technologies, and it was conducted in the past year. And at the end, there was something called a techno forum, which discusses about a topic about technology, about how we should have these technologies in Sri Lanka. So some sort of trending topic is discussed at the forum at the end. So in Techno Meetup also we'll speaking about the emerging technologies. So for this month, this is happening, an ongoing project. So we'll be talking about the trends in machine learning in the contemporary time now. So machine learning was there for quite a lot, quite maybe like for 2 and 3 years in Sri Lanka, and it's quite popular. But in Techno Meetup, what we focus on are the emerging concerns in those fields, and we'll discuss about that. Last month we talked about EVs, electronic vehicles, and there are like another set of topics that will be talked in the future as well. So in IEEE Techno Meetup, again, you'll get a chance to organize a project, and you will meet people from different universities, and you'll collaborate and you'll network with them. Other than that, you will be able to meet these professionals in the specific area, and you'll be able to make the contact with them, and maybe that will be beneficial for your education or your academic studies, and maybe for your projects. So you'll get a chance to meet these people being part of this as well. So the final and the fourth project of IEEE Sri Lanka section is IEEE Sri Lanka Inspire. It's about it's focusing on a critical challenge in Sri Lanka. It's about the student community, and it is to like uh, it is to like help the student community in Sri Lanka who have difficulties in studies. Like there are like several areas in IEEE Sri Lanka Inspire. It will give you the chance to access resources that are not available for the rural students. So it will give you lab videos, past papers, as well as the opportunity to get more get used to sorry uh, as well as the opportunity to write more answer more questions, and then again, like it will give you an overview about when you are going to choose your field of interest. When you're doing advanced levels, it will give you the chance to take a decision effectively and think about your career in the future as well. So it will tell like if maybe like the students in Sri Lanka are choosing, maybe they're doing maths, they're doing bio, maybe they're doing arts or commerce or technology, but you'll be get a chance to get an informed decision about what field you must choose or what field will interest you. And if you choose mathematics, what will it gives you and the opportunities that it will give you. So it will help the student community in Sri Lanka to take informed decisions, and at the end like develop human capital in Sri Lanka at the end. So it's an interesting project, and it's still in its early stages. So I mentioned like 4 projects here, and there are like other projects that you if you think like there are other projects that are important or that can make a difference in the country, you can like uh, inform us, or maybe like you can take the initiative as being a volunteer in IEEE to start a new initiative in IEEE. So there's like a grants in IEEE, so those will provide you the opportunities to start new initiatives in IEEE. If you think like as of IEEE Sri Lanka Inspire, there's another project maybe called ABC that will make a huge difference in the country, and it can be applicable in the global scale as well. You'll get a chance to write a proposal and set its objectives and what are the outcomes of the project. So if it is recognized by the world, so maybe like it might be a project of 500,000 USD, maybe like 40,000, 50,000 USD, maybe 100,000 USD. It doesn't matter what's the scale of the project is, but if you think like your project does something different and it will change the context of how the people in the world will see it, IEEE will fund you to continue that initiative. So you'll get a chance to serve the community by organizing these different projects and by having these new initiatives, and IEEE gives you the background to start these things. So that's I wanted to cover today. So IEEE is the world's largest technical professional organization. So even though it's a professional organization, you'll get to engage with the professionals as students. So as the undergraduates in the university, you can start from the grassroots levels, and then you can continue till maybe you become a life member, and until one day that you will become the president in IEEE. So as you guys might be new to IEEE, the first thing that you must do is like to get connected with the local community in IEEE. So there's a Facebook page as well as a Facebook group in IEEE in Sri Lanka section. So if you can you can reach these pages and groups in Facebook, and we'll provide continued updates about what are in the current context and what are going in Sri Lanka and what are the opportunities that are available, maybe about the volunteering positions that are available, or maybe about the projects that are there, or maybe about the awards that are being awarded by IEEE and what you can apply for. So you can stay connected with the IEEE Sri Lanka section page and group. So other than that, there's something called IEEE Sri Lanka section volunteer portal. This is specifically for the members who are having IEEE membership as registered in IEEE.org. So they'll get the chance to be more specifically continuously updated about the opportunities there. So we'll like inform them about what are going on specifically. So that's there. So thank you very much for having me here today. So I believe like you'll continue the enthusiasm that you are having with yourself. Like today we are seeing like 112 participants here, for except me, like there are like 111 participants. So maybe for me and Hasala, yeah, there are 110. So there are like more than 100 people here who are interested in IEEE. Like I think like you have taken your best choice to volunteer and be part of an organization. So you should continue to aspire and have this enthusiasm until you become one day maybe the IEEE president. So inspire, engage, encourage, and empower. Thank you very much. So I'm Chamika. So if you have any questions, you can reach me via my mobile or email. So let me see, like I saw that there's a question previously in the chat. So yeah, so you have asked like what are the IEEE events that are valuable for your career. So it's like all the events that are organized by IEEE are important for your career. If you think like the technical events are the only things that are important for your career, you're wrong, because there are like plenty of things that we must gain to become successful in our career. So one might say that only hard work will give you the chance to become successful in career. That's wrong. So you need to work hard, and maybe you need to sleep well as well. You need to actively participate in community events, maybe network with people. So all the events from IEEE will give you the chance to uh, have a value addition for your career. From Techno Meetup, you can learn about new technologies, and maybe your career will focus on those technologies. From IEEE Innovation Nation, you get a chance to explore about entrepreneurship. You will get a chance to be an entrepreneur someday. So there are like several events organized by IEEE Young Professionals Sri Lanka. There's something called Let's Talk, an event organized by IEEE Young Professionals Sri Lanka about the career opportunities and about a set of fields that are available. And there's an event called IEEE Stud Pro. So that's a career fair organized by IEEE for entire IEEE community in Sri Lanka. So that's the question that you had. So if you have any other questions, you can drop me an email or you can contact me via my mobile number. So maybe at the end of the session, you'll be able to ask questions as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chamika. Thank you very much for thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and experience with us and making this evening interesting and meaningful. So we are having our next speaker. Let me introduce him. He's fourth-year PhD student at Clemson University. He received his bachelor's degree in electric power engineering from the University of Morocco in 2010, and his master's degree in electric power engineering from Norwegian University of Science and Technology in 2015. He's currently a researcher with the Clemson University Real-Time Power and Intelligence System Lab. He's currently the PES Student Branch Chapter Coordinator, US and Canada, chairperson of IEEE Region 3 Young Professionals Committee, and the member of IEEE USA Energy Policy Committee. So today he will be joining with us to educate us with his knowledge and experience. Please welcome our next speaker for the day, Mr. Hasala Dharmawardena, to conduct our program. Dear sir, over to you.
Thank you, Avidya. So first thing, let's check. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, so whoever is not on mute, can you all mute? So the only person who should be unmuted should be me. Can we do that? All right. So guys, so the first question, so I will be asking you a few questions for which I expect that you put in the answers in the chat. First question is, do you know who Thomas Alva Edison and Alexander Graham Bell is? Do you know who they are? If you know who they are, just put Y in the chat box. If you don't know, put N for no. So in the chat box, if you know who Alexander Graham Bell is or Edison is, yeah, you can raise your hand and you can, yeah, just put in the chat. All right. All right. I see a lot of answers coming. Looks like everybody knows who Graham Bell and Edison was. So IEEE, the root of IEEE started with these people, these entrepreneurs, these technologists who really changed the world. So in 1884, they got together and decided that they should make a group, form a group, so that they have a bigger voice, a larger voice, and they can share and do things together. So that's how IEEE started. Now, moving forward, you have people like Guglielmo Marconi, the inventor of the radio. You have Nikola Tesla. You have so many people associated and who are members of IEEE. In fact, Edison and Bell. So Edison was the founding vice president, and Edison and Bell both became presidents of IEEE. So that is what IEEE is. That is what you're going to get associated when you say you are a member, student member of IEEE. Now, the next question. How are you connected to this session? Are you using Wi-Fi? Are you using a LAN cable? Or are you using a mobile? So just type it out. What method, the method that you're using to connect to this session. So if it's mobile, if it's Wi-Fi W, and then if it's LAN L, if it's mobile M. All right. So I see a lot of answers and a lot of Wi-Fi people from connected from Wi-Fi. But you know what IEEE is? IEEE is the organization which defines the Ethernet standard and the Wi-Fi standard and the 3G or 4G standard that makes it possible for you to connect from whatever device you have to this session. So IEEE is everywhere. It is not something alien to you. It is something that you use. You use the products of IEEE every day. Now, IEEE, going beyond what Chamika said, IEEE has two other main functions. One is publications. The publications run entrepreneurship and it runs the field forward. So technology. And then the meetings, the conferences. So IEEE has many conferences, over 1,000 conferences every year. So these two functions are also very important. So IEEE is, it's with us. It's not something, you may not be a member, but it's not something that is alien to you. It is part of your life. So that brings us to me sharing some experiences. So IEEE might not be for everybody. If you want to be associated with Edison, you want to be associated with Nikola Tesla, you want to go out there, do something different, you want to take the field forward, you want to work together as a team to make a difference, or you want to go out in your career, go out to the top level, whatever it is in your career, as an entrepreneur, as a technologist, in your academia, in industry, wherever you are, if that is your goal, I think IEEE will be a good fit. So it is not going to be for everybody, but I will share some of the experiences that I got so that you might be able to relate to it, but your path is probably not going to be my path. Everybody has different interests, different experiences. So just keep that in mind. But sometimes the values you expect might not be in IEEE, then IEEE might not be for you. So I'm not saying that everybody should join IEEE, but just think on what you want to achieve and use it as a tool. So in 2008, we started IEEE, me and my friends, IEEE student branch. The first student branch was in University of Moratuwa. We started it because we felt there was a need for people who had affiliation, who had interest in technology from EE to have a platform for their voice to be heard. We did not have that. And we were all very nerdy. We were not the people at that point who would go into the student union and become the president of the union or the secretary. We were nerdy, but we didn't have a platform. So IEEE became the platform that our voices were heard. So we did some events, and there was momentum. And so that was the first time that I organized a main event was for IEEE. So I got that experience of organizing an event, which is leadership, a lot of soft skills. You know, you go to a lot of presentations about how to be a good presenter or how to be a good team player. That doesn't really work. To learn these soft skills, you need to do it. And IEEE provided that platform for me as a student. In fact, doing that gave me the confidence in being out there. Gave me the confidence that I do have some skills, even though I was a nerd, and I still am. I got to a point where I was confident about my soft skills. Now, when I graduated, I had the opportunity to join the Power and Energy Society because that was my technical field of interest. I became an ExCom member. It was very new. PES was very new in 2011 in Sri Lanka. So the Power and Energy Society of the Sri Lanka chapter. And I got to interact with these people like Janaka Ekanayaka. So there was Janaka Ekanayaka, there was Atpu, there was a lot of people. It was dominated by people from Peradeniya. Meetings were in Peradeniya. But, you know, you go there and then you meet people and you work with them and you get connected. And perhaps it was not my intention to network with them per se, but I got to know them and they got to know me. And it was a way of expanding my network. Now, in the student, I got to meet with electrical, electronic, juniors, seniors, a platform that was not available because if you go for union activities, it's just your set of people, right? And then going beyond 2011, 2012, 2013, I was able to connect with people and students, young professionals around the country because of IEEE. You have these, the student congress of the section, and you have different events organized by the section, by different student branch chapters, student branches. This gives a platform for you to connect to these people that you will never ever have an opportunity to talk to. And like for Chamika, like I met Chamika and I now know him quite well just because of IEEE. And like there is a huge set of close friends that I got. And not just friends in my batch, my age, but who are much younger to much older, who I got to know because of being involved with IEEE. And I think this is very important in your career because I see in Sri Lanka, people tend to be very single-minded. They don't see the bigger picture. They tend to be very, they tend to be very strongly close-minded, not being open-minded, not looking at a problem from the perspective of another person. You think you are correct and you're very strongly, you're very strong about it, about you being correct. And that's, you get this perspective, like when you get into this funnel, when you're with the same set of people, you don't see other people in your network. So IEEE gave me that advantage. Now I was in Lanka Transformers, that's where I joined after graduation. Then in 2013, I went for my master's in Norway. And you know what? In Norway, I got the opportunity to connect to a diverse set of people just because of my work with IEEE. So I was IEEE volunteer. I restarted student activities in Norway. And just because of that, I got to connect with this set of people who are young professionals, who are in the industry in Norway. See, I don't speak Norwegian. I didn't speak Norsk. I was not European. I was from a totally different country. I did not know anybody, but IEEE gave that link for me to connect to that network. So I made a lot of friends. My network expanded. And I did some fun events out there, which I would not have had the opportunity if I was not IEEE member. So being an IEEE member and a volunteer gave me the opportunity to organize activities in Norway as a student. Now, moving forward, in 2015, I was back in Sri Lanka for some time, and the Sri Lanka section Power and Energy Society chapter had a distinguished lecturer program, where they got a professor, a very distinguished person called Mo El Havari. He's a very famous guy in the industry. In the technology front, many papers, a lot of contributions, very charismatic guy. So when I was in Sri Lanka, the chapter didn't have a way to fund the evening event. So they were doing it in a big hotel in Colombo. So they wanted money, and I saw that I could help. So I said, okay, let me do the proposal. So they asked me for like industry contacts at that point. Like, do you have someone who knows who would like to, connect? But then I saw that the proposal was not strong enough. So I volunteered. So volunteering is not something that, sometimes you need to grab the opportunity. So in this case, I saw that they needed help. I had a little bit of time, so I went and then volunteered with financial. So it was like 100,000 demo. I had a connection in demo. I did a financial proposal, a sponsorship proposal. And then I went to my friends in demo and they were like, okay, we'll do it. We got the money. And at the end of the event, everybody left. And this guy, Moel Havari, he was 70s at that point of time, like around 70, 72. Old guy. He was originally from Egypt, but he had gone to Canada for his studies, and he had stayed there. And there was nobody except my friends and I who were out there. And he was like willing to socialize. He wanted to talk to people, but I guess a lot of people get intimidated when you have personalities like that around. You're afraid to talk. In any case, the whole like set of people left, and we were left with him, and we got to know him, we got to exchange ideas, and I was inspired. And that is one thing you can get from being part of IEEE. You get inspired. You talk to these special people who are part of this network. You get this opportunity, but you need to put the effort in. So that's very important. IEEE is not like you pay the membership, $17, $18, whatever it is, which is highly subsidized for students. You get much more value out of the membership. So it's not like you get the membership, you stay at home, and you get all these values that I'm talking about. You need to get involved, and no one probably will invite you, but you need to look at the opportunities. You should be very professional about it, and volunteer for some things. And that's like, you get the value you put in, the effort you put in. So this is very important. So anyway, so going back to Moel Havari, I got to know him in a very intimate way for like a couple of hours, talking with him, exchanging ideas, me and my friends. And I got inspired, and I had a good relationship with him, even moving after. Where I met him in US. I had an email thread going on, and so he passed away a couple of years ago, but it was an inspiring experience, just an opportunity I got because of IEEE. Now moving on, then I got to US for my PhD, and there was no chapter, Power Energy Society chapter in the section that I was, so I started one. I got connected to this network. Then I expanded this network to Region 3, which is the whole Southeast US. It's a huge area. It's a huge land area, south and east of United States. And now I'm connected to that network. And I volunteer for them. And, so you chat with the person, you get some connection. But when you volunteer with a team, going towards one goal, that gives a different connection. They see you in action. And you work with these people who, they are the, so IEEE is something like in Buddhism, you say, like Lord Buddha says, Panditya Nasuru Kirima. People who are better than you, more intelligent than you, who have succeeded. And that's the platform you have. That's the platform that I have right now, where I learn from the best. And I got this opportunity because I volunteer for IEEE. So guys, so these networks, the soft skills you get, and let me see, the leadership opportunities, and the recognition and access you get in IEEE, you don't get it anywhere. I am in Toastmasters. I was the vice president last year for my local club, but you don't get this kind of access, this kind of opportunity by organizations like that. But IEEE does provide a lot of values, a lot of intangible stuff for you to be better, for you to succeed. And then again, it's volunteering. So you can do stuff that's stupid, sometimes you're learning. So you're doing stuff that might not be appropriate, but it's a platform for you to fail and learn. So if you fail and don't learn, of course, even IEEE might not be a good platform for you. But if you're willing to learn, and failing is a good way to learn, so IEEE will provide you that opportunity. All right, so that brings to the end of my session. And so thank you for listening. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I don't know if we have time for questions, but as parting words, guys, it's a really good opportunity for many of you. So just try it out. So if you are IEEE student member, the first year is free for Power and Energy Society. So I highly encourage you to get the membership if you feel it has shared values, and then start a student branch chapter for your technical interest. If you have interest in Power and Energy Society, you can get the membership for free for Power and Energy Society. And then you can start a student branch chapter if you have 6 PES student members in your student branch. So good luck, guys. I hope you'll join, and I hope you'll succeed in whatever you do. And it's a very fascinating ecosystem you have in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is right at the top of IEEE right now. Like, you get awards, you get activities, whatever it is, you hear Sri Lanka very frequently in IEEE. And I'm telling this because right now I'm in IEEE, I'm in USA, and I'm in different boards, and I still hear the name Sri Lanka echoing in our discussions. So you guys can be proud of what you have achieved as Sri Lanka, IEEE members in Sri Lanka. And it's a really good ecosystem. We didn't have this ecosystem, you know, like when we started out, we had to build everything from ground up, build the brand. We didn't really get anything out of it. Like, we were just doing it for, you know, we enjoyed it. We loved the people who were in it. And we wanted to do it, but what we got was just our experiences. But right now, you guys have an awesome ecosystem. Like, you have a section student representative, you have student activities committee, you can get support from many sources. So go ahead, get the best out of this opportunity. So best of luck. Hope to meet you somewhere around the world, or maybe in Sri Lanka.